Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSI DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm your host, Megro31. Got the truck race here. 3 weeks left. Got all the series going this week. Next week, it's just Xfinity and the Cup at Martinsville. And then 3 weeks from now, we have the finale. It's all over in Phoenix with all three series going. So just a little programming note here. A lot going on FSI DFS YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, we hit 4,500 viewers or subscribers. So more viewers than that. Only about like half our viewers subscribe, which we're trying to get you to subscribe just because when you do that, you know when our videos are coming out. McKinley has been doing hockey videos Monday through Friday. They have just been on fire. Great advice there. He's found some really cheap defenders and gems and really help people. So interaction's been great on them too. Like anywhere from like a dozen to 2 dozen like questions, comments, and stuff. It's been very positive feedback, so that's awesome. Also, I will do the Xfinity video after this. I'll have the Cup video for Sunday, and also I do an NFL breakdown, and usually do Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football. Didn't do Thursday Night Football this week just because I didn't know if Trevor Lawrence was going to play or not, so it was hard to do a video at that point without that information. So we appreciate you watching the season, and I'm still playing here, even though the player pools and stuff have diminished. There's still some money to be made, so let's get into it. So we are at Homestead-MIAMI Speedway. It is a high tire wear track comparable to Darlington and comparable to well, formerly Auto Club in California, but they're going to repave that, so they're make it a smaller track or something, so that's not going to be the same. Old Atlanta also, but after repave like 2 years ago, that isn't similar. So don't have too many of these tracks left that like really chew up tires, and you really have to watch tire wear, and there's a lot of fall off, but they're kind of fun because you really got to figure it out and know how to manage them, and tires make a huge difference here. So there's 134 laps, probably looking at a couple dominators. This is a cutoff race since they don't race next week, so you have to we'll have the final four after this race. So Carson Hocevar is locked in. He has a win. At Talladega, Brett Moffitt won, who doesn't even normally race in the truck series recently. He did a couple years past. So that means that there are 3 spots open up for points. So looking at it right now, obviously Hocevar's in. Sanchez, Entfinger, Eckes, and Rhodes probably can point their way in. I think that, Corey Heim is locked in. Sorry about that. If you already wrote the comment, then just please delete it. Hocevar I have in green because he is probably has enough points that he doesn't need to do too much. He's pretty much safe. Should be able to get in unless like he finishes dead last. But the thing is, there's only 34 trucks in this race. So instead of like 36 or 38 in Xfinity. So that's huge because that's like 4 points built into everybody's starting position right there. So because the worst you could finish is 34th instead of like 36, 38, and that could make a big difference in here. And the ones in red, Majeski and Smith, are ones that I believe are so far out point wise that they would need all the yellow guys to crash into each other and finish probably 34th, 33rd, 32nd, and 31st, and then they would need to win or like finish second to be able to point their way in. Not mathematically impossible, but highly improbable. So Sanchez has the pole, 4th fastest in practice. Again, I looked at Homestead 22. If they raced Darlington, they were in an Auto Club. Looked at a couple other half-mile tracks, but I didn't factor them as much because they're not high tire wear. Like Kansas and Michigan, and Vegas, they just aren't. Well, like Michigan's more like a 2-mile track, but they just don't have the tire wear. They're a lot easier to run on, and you really don't have to manage that as much as you do for Homestead. So it was actually Charlotte, Texas, Las Vegas, and Kansas. So once I looked at. but I did do a composite on that. So Sanchez, like 6 fast, he's had a really good season this season. And I think that you can play him in cash up here. I think Carson Hocevar will be very popular. Um, I think even more so because I think he's far enough ahead in points that maybe even after stage 1, if he's trying to get stage points there and does enough, he might be already locked. So by stage 2, he can change up his strategy if he needs to take tires at a different time than the other ones to get an advantage to maybe get out there and actually go to win this race. So I really think that's going to make him popular. He was second in 10 lap average and has run pretty good on these types of tracks. Grandin Finger, I have his GPP here. He's 11th in practice, qualified a little bit better, 4th overall on these types of tracks. So not bad. But again, I just kind of worry with him. Like Sanchez, I like just because if you probably can get out there and lead early and dominate, and if you can hold the lead, that's good. But Enfinger, if you can't get up there and take over for the lead, I just don't know if he'll be playing the stage point game and not have a chance to win this race, and might put him at a disadvantage towards the end. Majeski has to go for the win. Like stage points really don't matter here unless like there's a huge catastrophe early. But it was 3rd fastest in practice. I think he'll be very popular here. Was horrible at Darlington, but Homestead last year he had one of the best trucks, so I think he's definitely one to consider here. High price tag, but probably worth it. Dean Thompson, we play him a lot in cash, but I think he's way too far forward here. He's 2nd fastest in practice. Like this is pretty amazing, like what he did with his truck here. But he didn't really have. Actually, he did. He had 4th, and no, he didn't. His no, actually, sorry. Eyes are early in the morning. My eyes are, so he was 4th in 10 lap average right there. So I think that he was definitely consider like his speed looks really good on this side, but over here, like his body of work just kind of scares me. I have him as a GPP. He should maybe be a fade just based on like his body of work, but I just don't know. He looked really good here, so I might throw him in one lineup just in case. Tanner Gray didn't practice really well, qualified really well, so I don't know. Like fall off to 10 lap average, he was 10th, 15th overall. I think he's starting too far forward here, so I'm just probably not going to play a ton of him. Hasn't had the greatest season. Actually, his brother Taylor Gray has been the better driver. Zane Smith, I think, is the one you want to lock in here. 1st in practice, 1st in fall off, 3rd overall composite. Ran really well at Homestead last year. Wasn't great at Darlington, but I think he got into trouble a little bit early there. But it's composite average 8.6. So really like him. A lot of work to do. Has to go for the win. Prime play for me. Corey Heim, just in great form recently. I think I saw a statistic that he's like led at least a lap in like the last dozen races. Been solid, consistent this season. Locked in, so he can go for the win here. Wasn't a little bit slower than I liked at practice, but his fall off was good. Has actually puts him exactly where he starts. 5th overall in my ranking, so I think he can definitely move up. Stuart Friesen, GPP. He's been GPP all year. Just for some reason, just hasn't had it this season. Gotten a lot of accidents. Just is this the race that he puts together? He's not in the playoffs, so he's playing with house money here. Definitely going for the win. Doesn't have to worry about stage points. So 15th in practice, a little bit slower. 7th in fall off, which is good, but he's like number 1 in all the rankings. So he's going to be the first guy in my GPP lineup. I don't think I can play him in cash, but GPP, definitely lock him in. Akasumi, another one of my prime plays. Probably not going to be a super popular prime play for people, but I just really like that he comes up 2nd in my model for everything. He was 6th in practice. Long run speed was outside the top 15, but I think he's fine in that. You know, sometimes if they don't run enough laps, maybe he's like make some adjustments and things, but qualified okay, practice okay, just his overall numbers. Like Darlington looked really good. Homestead last year looked really good. All the other comparable tracks look good. So really feel strong about him, and there's a little place differential here. Jack Wood should be a solid cash play, even though his he's getting better. He just was in bad equipment for some of these. He's in the best Kyle Busch truck, so he should be able to do well here. And there aren't any other Kyle Busch trucks in the championship, so it's not like all the resources are thrown towards one guy. So I think he should be fine here, even if you look at his backside numbers for his body of work aren't as good here. I think he'll be fine. I've seen some improvement in him recently. Taylor Gray, like I said, like better than his brother, but I think GPP at 9K here. 22nd fastest, 15th in fall off, which isn't bad. It looks like, he started to pick up speed or hold speed at least. Body of work isn't bad either, but I think he's more of a GPP. Same thing with Kruth and Purdy here. Both are pretty similar. Both top 10 in practice, both top 15 in long run speed, both top 15. So I think there's definitely maybe some floor here, a little bit of limited upside, but if you land on these guys, last guy in your cash, I kind of price in no man's land. I'm fine with it, but the next three I think I really like in cash here: Jake Garcia, Ankrum, and Curry. I think two of them, Garcia and Ankrum, will be highly owned. I don't think Curry will be as much, which I think I like Curry the most out of them. Just seventh in practice, and fifth in long run speed, whereas the other guys are top 16 there. Curry just has I just didn't have he's ran more Xfinity than truck, but I think if I factored some more of the Xfinity numbers in, that 20th rank actually lowered itself. So he's definitely one to play in cash there, but I think Garcia and Ankrum are definitely in play also. Brad Perez, I'm going to fade here. 28th overall, 26th in practice. They just had a good qualifying lap, but other than that, I haven't seen much. Diane Deegan, GPPs, almost the same price range. Deegan just has a little bit more upside here. 14th in practice, 18th overall composite. So Daniel Dye, like if I land in that range, I'm going Deegan over Dye. Ben Rhodes, think he'll be popular here in the playoffs. Still has some work to do. Might be playing I didn't put a prime on him because he might be playing the stage point game here. 5th in practice, didn't have great long run speed. 10th overall. So, but I think there's definitely some upside for cash there. But I like Matt Crafton. I think it's kind of the same play. Matt Crafton's not in the playoffs. So I have a prime play here. Just even though Rhodes had better practice times, their body of work are similar. And he's one that knows this track. He's good on tire wear track. 11th in fall off. So I think definitely he's got some great opportunity for place differential. Lawless Allen, I think, is a decent cheap play here in this range. Should be able to finish around where he starts. Colby Howard's a GPP, even though his I think it's just the pricing and the truck, but I don't know, maybe look at it again now. I think maybe he should be a cash play because 13th in practice, so there's actually 11 different, like he just didn't qualify as well as he practiced. He had 9th in fall off, top 10, that's good. 19th, starting 24th, so that means you should be able to move up at least 5 positions, so that's good for cash. Lensev is a fade. I know some people think that he should be fine as a value, but I just look at 33rd in practice and 31st overall. I just see him dropping like 5 or 6 spots. So 5,100, it's not too risky, but I don't want to go there. Hill thinks he's starting a little too far forward. Marco Andretti's got a great racing pedigree and a great racing family name, but just 7,500 is a GPP. If he was like 6,500, I definitely have him as cash down here. But it looks like he's in a decent truck, but it looks like he's just pretty much going to finish where he starts. Limited sample side, he come up 17th overall, so that's why I have a GPP, because I think there is some upside, but just the pricing makes it a GPP over cash. Davis and Maglio, no thank you. Fade, probably moving backwards. Even though Davis has nice composite on here, there's just not enough data in this Roper Racing truck to make me feel comfortable with it. Spencer Boyd, I think you can play as a GPP. He's raced all year. It's done bad, but his composite, you can only drop a couple spots, and he's in the 4,800 range. For Memphis Rail, there's room for other trucks. One of the worst trucks out there. Don't know if it's going to make the whole race or stay on the lead lap, so it's fade. Trevor Ban, I think he's going to be super popular. Really good driver. He's stepping into the Rackley War truck because Matt DiDonato was in it all year, and he said, "Peace out. I'm not coming back next year." And even though he was in the playoffs, they said, "Okay, peace out. You're gone." But this truck had a vibration during the practice and qualifying, and they couldn't figure out what it is. And they can't like really, maybe they are going to tear the truck apart, and maybe they'll get in trouble for an improved adjustment and just start with the back, which they're already starting at the back, and everything will be fine. But I don't have that at this point, so I gotta put him as a GPP. If we find out everything's okay, then I think he's a smash play with a lot of place differential, and could probably be the best point per dollar play on the slate. But I just really fear that if they don't figure out what it is, we've seen this Rackley War truck with DiVendetto in it break down quite a few times, especially when they ran 2 trucks last year. So it's a lot more solid than some of the other garbage trucks that are in the lower tier of truck racing. But I just don't have a total confirmation that this truck is technologically and mechanically sound. So it's a GPP and not a cash play. For second guy on my GPP, Friesen and Bane is where I'm starting my GPPs, definitely, but I can't do it in cash. I get it if you want to. I think a lot of people will, but I think there's not enough floor or security for me to play in my cash lines. Jonathan Schaefer here. Don't love the truck, but I think he's not a 33rd place truck. And if he does finish dead last, you're still getting, I believe, 6 points here because it's based on a 40 truck field for the DK scoring system. So actually it's 7 points. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome for a 52. You're guaranteed to get 7 points. So lock me in. I'm still fading Monty Williams. I know he's probably going to finish dead last. These glory to God trucks. If there wasn't, it's good to see them back in here, but they've just been horrible. So if you want to take it as a GPP, because again, you're going to end up with 5 or 6 points just because there's nobody below them. I'd rather take Schaefer, who I think has a lot more upside for $600 more. But I get it if you're doing some kind of boom or bust one. He's the cheapest guy in the field. Put him in, it'll work. So that's what I got for you. I'm going to hop off quick here and do the Xfinity video quick. So if you have any questions, put in the chat below. Hit me up at MegaRoar31 or X on Twitter. My DMs are open. As I said earlier, subscribe to our channel so you know our videos are coming out. If you want more information on the FSI DFS, we got some great, really good, affordable packages for you. Then you can get into our Discord and our website by going to the description of the video, and the links are all there. So good luck in your contests. Check out my Xfinity video. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.